Well, hello there.
Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today's analysis is drawn from the article From Adoption to Accountability: What the AI Impact on Business Means for Technical Communication by Guiseppe, published on February 4th, 2026, and it raises a really critical question about where we stand with artificial intelligence in the workplace today.
This quote really gets to the heart of it. The author argues that the true challenge with AI isn't just getting it to work. It's not about the automation itself. It's about our ability to actually explain and stand behind the decisions it makes. This is what we're calling the accountability gap.
Now, to really wrap our heads around this gap, we first have to accept a new reality. You see, AI is no longer some abstract, futuristic idea. It's a tool being used in daily business operations right now. And that's not just a hunch. It's a fact grounded in some very credible data.
And we're not just talking anecdotally here. The foundation for this whole discussion comes from a U.S. Census Bureau report. This gives us hard data, confirming that AI tools are now deeply woven into the core functions of modern business.
So what does that actually look like? Well, AI is influencing absolutely critical tasks, things like setting prices for products, managing complex logistics, shaping how companies interact with their customers, and driving all kinds of internal analytics. It's not on the fringe anymore. It's right at the center of how business gets done.
But here's the problem. This incredibly rapid adoption is creating the core issue we're talking about today, a major gap between our use of these powerful AI tools and our actual understanding of how they work.
You see, it creates this stark contrast. On one hand, we can easily track AI adoption. We have the metrics, we can see the numbers going up. But on the other hand, how do you measure understanding? The truth is, we don't. Our comprehension is lagging far, far behind our ability to simply roll out the technology.
This gap then leads to some very difficult, very practical questions. For instance, when an AI system denies someone a loan or flags a financial transaction, who's actually responsible? Is it the developer who wrote the code, the person who deployed the system, the company that owns it? All of a sudden, those clear lines of responsibility just blur.
And it follows, right? If you can't even identify who is accountable, how can you possibly challenge the decision? For a customer, or even an employee who is affected by one of these automated choices, the path to an appeal becomes incredibly murky.
And this brings us right to the crux of the problem. Inside any given organization, who has the expertise to explain not just what an AI system did, but why it did it? It's the scarcity of that kind of deep expertise that really lies at the heart of this accountability crisis.
Now, there's another layer of complexity here. The problem is made even worse by the fact that AI's benefits and its risks are not being spread around equally.
The census data is quite clear on this. Larger firms, the ones with significant resources and access to top-tier expertise, are adopting AI at a much, much higher rate. Meanwhile, smaller businesses are facing some pretty substantial barriers, things like cost, infrastructure, and just finding the right talent. And you have to understand, this isn't just a technology gap. This is a dynamic that has the very real potential to amplify existing economic inequalities. It could actually widen the chasm that already exists between large corporations and smaller businesses.
So, given all these challenges, the article proposes that we need a fundamental shift in our thinking. We need a new way to measure the success of AI, one that moves beyond simple metrics like efficiency.
For years, the main question we asked about AI was, does it make us more efficient? Does it boost productivity? And while those things are important, they're no longer enough. The new imperative, the more critical question, has to be, can we explain, can we justify, and can we defend the decisions that this system makes?
And this is such a critical point. Accountability doesn't just happen automatically when you add technology. It's not a free byproduct of automation. It is an intentional choice that has to be designed into the system from the very beginning.
So if accountability has to be designed, what does that actually look like? Well, the source article points to a solution: positioning clear, deliberate communication as a strategic necessity for any responsible AI initiative. The end goal is to build what the author calls legible systems. It's a key concept. A legible system is the opposite of a black box. It's an AI whose processes and decisions can actually be translated into a shared human understanding. So instead of just saying a loan was denied by the algorithm, a legible system could explain that it was denied because of a specific credit score threshold and debt-to-income ratio.
And this is precisely the work of technical communication. It's about creating the documentation and the resources that clearly explain the system's behavior, are transparent about its limitations, and explicitly define the lines of human responsibility for its oversight and its outcomes.
To put it another way, we have to stop treating communication as an afterthought. It's not something you just tack on at the end once the system is built. According to the author, it's a foundational component that makes the entire endeavor sustainable for the long term.
And this leaves us with a final, reflective question. It's a challenge to take these ideas and apply them directly to your own world. Think about the tools being deployed in your workplace. Is your organization building or maybe even just buying systems that it cannot fundamentally explain? Because the answer to that question has some pretty profound implications.
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. To continue learning, we encourage you to subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. And please, like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with your colleagues to help us reach a wider audience. Well, hello there. I'm Gemini. That battery can last up to 24 hours even with the always-on display turned on. It's pretty cool.